Hey,
Busted.
We're live.
Hey, thought I had like an extra second.
You thought you did, but you were wrong. Oh, you almost forgot. I was trying to pull this up. What's up, round of applause? Hello, citations. What to do? Stop the game. Off. I'll do direct game. You know about us like Let's get it. Welcome to the Aftershow podcast. A few minutes late because Jay was had fallen asleep. He'll tell you some lie about me taking a shit and losing track of time, but I assure you, it's because he's an old man. He fell asleep.
I was definitely not going to say that, but now that you mention it.
Yep. So just know anything he says is fake news. It was all his fault. So we have another great show for you this week. Appreciate everyone once again hanging out. See, we had a little dispute earlier. Cap Tay versus Eastwood. Eastwood is indeed first instead of Cap Tay, but technically Simple J is first. So congratulations to Simple J. You are officially first this week. Better luck next time, everybody. So, how are you doing, Jay?
We made it through another week. We are another week closer to the Spooderman. And,
I don't care.
So, we have another great show for you. We are going to be talking about the Spooderman. We're going to be talking about some goings on with Bungie, and we're going to be talking as well about Loki season 2, episode 1. I actually did a live watch party of that, and yes, Jay, I added some new stuff to the soundboard, so be prepared.
Oh boy, oh boy, we're in trouble.
It is indeed happening. Also, Simple J did mention something about Generation V. I don't know if you've been watching it. I don't know if your wife let you.
That's the new
The Boys spinoff.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet. I mean, I've watched all of The Boys. I'm not as big a fan as everybody else. But I've heard I think I saw you say something about it being better than The Boys.
I don't know if I said it was better than The Boys, but it is fantastic so far.
Okay. Well, I keep meaning to check it out. I just haven't had a chance yet.
So if Jay ever watches it, we'll do a review.
I'm sure I'll watch it.
I
feel like I have to, because it's one of those things where it's like our circle, like our world, like everybody watches it and talks about it. So like I feel like I just need to not be left out.
Yeah, first 3 episodes premiered last week, and this week is episode 4. I haven't watched episode 4 yet, so we'll that's something we'll get into potentially next week. We'll just talk about the first 4 episodes so far, and we'll see how Jay likes it compared to a regular Boys series.
It's not that like I don't like The Boys. I just think it's the same problem I have with Invincible. I think like a lot of the things.
You had a problem with Invincible? Hold on.
I don't hate either one of them. I just think that they're a little derivative. I understand that's the point with The Boys, to an extent, but like they're just a little too derivative, and the whole evil Superman thing, it's just so played out. And I don't know. Like I think if I could ever get myself past that, I would enjoy it more. But I think that's like one of the things that turns me off to it, is just like and like it's just a little gratuitous as well.
Make it
Like,
make sense.
I feel like it makes sense, but you know, I'm not like gonna sit here and like they're 7 out of 10s to me, you know, like they're not like I understand the appeal.
Invincible.
Yeah, I don't
7 out of 10.
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning?
No, I Invincible I like less than The Boys.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild. Holy.
Yeah, I don't
And I'm supposed to be the critical one.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's good. I mean, it's cool, it's different, but it's just it's not different actually. It's really not. That's my main issue. Like it's you know, I feel like The Boys and Invincible are the same thing.
They're
in a lot of ways.
They're completely
I know they're completely different because like you have like The Boys, which is like your supermarket superheroes. And then, you know, like what if all superheroes were just a big advertisement? You know, I get that aspect of it, but like they're basically like knockoff Marvel and DC.
No, they are
with more violence.
They're like The Boys is a dark parody of modern society told through the superhero lens, and Invincible, you can argue is. I mean, literally is they. That's one of the great things about it. Like, I mean, went a little off the rails in season 2. They got a little too Trump bad with the whole Nazi plot line. That was a lot. But yeah, even the new one, like they it's mainly poking fun at all aspects of our society, culture, in the Gen V in particular, since it's on a college campus. It pokes fun at social media, how a lot of teenagers, especially in the influencer eras, are pretty much sociopaths.
Well, I can't speak to that one, you know, like I'm just going off of what I've watched, and I went in wanting to love it because people are like because I watched Invincible all at once at the end of the last season when everybody was like peak, you know, like hype, you know, and maybe I went in with like a what the hell am I getting into kind of thing. Like, I don't know, but there's something about it that was just off. And Invincible, I just feel like it's like you're a 15-year-old and you just learned how to swear and you're just trying to like look tough and and like you're doing all the little things to like, you know, oh, look at me.
So
and I don't know.
So you gave Invincible a 7 out of 10. What did you give Ahsoka?
About the same.
Holy shit! Well, let's move on to
like there's literally like Invincible is just
holy shit. All right,
not that interesting.
Okay. So our first story of the day, we got some new Spooderman info. we got some good stuff, and we got, of course, some bad stuff, as is usually the case with the Spider-Man stuff. I mentioned this in the video earlier, but apparently you really got to be careful on that Twitter because the whole game is out in the wild.
Imagine that happening, giving the game out 3 weeks early.
Not even that. Like Spider-Man 2 countdown, great page. Been covering the game since the announcement. They almost quit their whole page because someone apparently not only spoiled the main game, but ending cutscenes and all. Like the whole thing got spoiled to them. So
how do you let that happen though?
I have no idea.
Because I feel like at a certain point you just like stop, right?
Well, I imagine if you got a DM and because you know you have no choice, you got to see it. If and they were just like, hey, here's the plot, here are the main plots of the game. You're like, oh fuck, well that's the game.
I don't know. I feel like there's ways that you could like save yourself a little. I'm not victim blaming here, but like
it sounds like you're victim blaming.
I don't know. Like I understand completely. Like that's the last thing anybody really wants, you know. But that's
I know from experience because I get thousands of comments a week. So I'll see people like drop spoilers and like it just there's literally no way to avoid it if you're checking
yeah, when you're live, especially. I mean, obviously over the years I've had that happen plenty of times for plenty of things, so I get that, but
yeah, that's unavoidable. So presumably maybe the whole story got spoiled, and then they saw there were cutscenes too. So he just saw a little bit of that. He didn't say he watched all of them, but he did say like pretty much the whole game is been spoiled for him, which would be easy to do if you knew the plot points. You could just literally just throw them on the screen and send them in a DM and be like, surprise.
Well, I have to say that they didn't give content creators the codes right away, so it was all the traditional media.
Except for Draw Raptor and that Indian channel.
Yeah, I trust
Playmaker.
I trust Draw Raptor is not the one that's leaking anything.
No, this no, the leaker. Who's to say who's leaking what? They could be people could be using burner accounts, but they are slowly rolling out more creator codes. Caboose just got his a few days ago, and so I know specifically that there is a list, and they are going to be progressively rolling that out and sending out more codes. So
well, I am progressively trying to find people that are going to find one off the back of the truck and drop it into the back of mine, because I know I'm not getting one. So
don't lose hope, Jay. They haven't sent the rest out. So
they haven't even like acknowledged my existence in the 2 emails I've sent.
Hey,
so
maybe the third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Skill Up got a code, which I assume he's not really a traditional content creator. I mean, he's like in that borderline, but he's basically a games journalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Skill Up.
Yeah.
And he wasn't flown out. He was offered to be flown out to play the demo, but he flew himself out to play the demo that he was invited to. So not surprising that he's getting that he has a code, because he's a very, very prominent reviewer, and that seemed to be the priority to get those out the way. But
and it makes complete sense.
If you're on Twitter in particular, you might want to start muting and blocking specific keywords, so that you don't get spoiled in the.
And can you believe Mario Wonder is on the cover of Marketing Informer? Like
I can definitely believe that.
Considering that's what I said was going to be on October.
Allegedly.
I mean, not really much of a surprise there.
I mean, I feel like I checked out as soon as they after Assassin's Creed Mirage, when they confirmed that they're not working with Sony and Insomniac on the cover reveal. And so I was like, oh well, so September is going to be Mario or Alan Wake, so who cares? Yeah. we're moving on, but that's because they're doing their thing. They had the state of play, they had the hands-on preview, they got the review embargo coming up, and now they just got this collab going with Marvel on these variant covers for various Spider-Man comics, which I think are pretty cool. These are different skins from the game, largely from the digital deluxe edition. There you see that apocalyptic. I'm sure Jay, as a collector, will be getting as many of these as possible.
No, they're not worth anything. And like I'm running out of places to put things.
But it's Spider-Man.
No, I get that. And like I get that, because for the first
Spider-Man comics,
there was some from the first game that I got, but like I don't know, these are just not really. I kind of have not been buying comics as much as I had been. It's just dude, like
comics.
My guy, okay, like, do you see anywhere I could put anything?
Yes, the floor.
Yeah, the floor is almost full. Okay, like I don't know what to tell you.
Put some
Like,
put some in your head. Just balance them.
and yeah, I would love to, but the last couple comics I got, I put away. So there's that. I will say though, this popped up in my memories, and this is one that I love. My Spawn with Chadwick Boseman as Spawn on the cover.
Ooh, that is actually very cool.
Yeah, it was a Todd McFarlane cover, 9.8. I was showing that because Spawn's in Call of Duty. So anyway,
Call of Duty. Is
yeah,
it?
it's weird.
That is Spawn of Call of Duty. Who else did they add recently?
They're adding Skeletor, which is why I'm considering playing again. They're adding Army of Darkness dude, Ash, and shoot. Shoot. Alucard?
Alucard from from the anime, right?
Yeah, and there's another one. They're adding stuff from Diablo, and they're adding stuff from another game, the chainsaw. I can't think of it.
Texas Chainsaw?
No, not Texas Chainsaw. Something
Lollipop Chainsaw?
No, it was something big. Oh, Laura Croft. They added Laura Croft. Yeah. So I mean, I'm all about Skeletor. The Skeletor looks freaking amazing, and they deserve my money for bringing Skeletor into Call of Duty. The beta is going on right now. If you need to get a beta code, the age-old trick is to pre-order on Amazon or BestBuy.com, and they will email you a code pretty much right away, and then cancel your pre-order. I saw Lejeune was gonna like go into GameStop and pre-order after I told him all you have to do is order it online and then cancel. Maybe I had to go for a ride.
I don't care.
All right,
wow.
So
I don't like the soundboard anymore.
now I really love the soundboard. It was something missing, and now I figured out. Loki season 2 has completed the soundboard. Episode 1, we're already there. But I haven't bought a comic in quite some time, but those are pretty cool still.
Yeah, I did. I actually did just go to the comic shop last week, and I got 2 issues of Thor #1, Immortal Thor #1, and then another issue of I think Guardians of the Galaxy, and it had Nova on the cover. And I don't know if you've noticed that for X-Men they've been doing these like Met Gala style covers where, well, it was Nova's Met Gala cover. So he's like showing some chest and I don't know. You can play Mario Wonder at GameStop. Interesting.
Soundtrack also gave us 2 new screenshots from those pre-order suits, the Iraq Knight and the Shadow Spider, which I think those are really cool. I'm a fan, especially the Iraq Knight.
Yeah.
Yuri Lowenthal in particular is a big fan of the Moon Knight. He really wants to voice Moon Knight and in a Moon Knight video game.
Okay.
And I think that looks fantastic.
Yeah. The whole that whole like crossover thing. I'm not usually a big fan of that type of stuff, but like when they did the whole crossover characters where they had like there was a few of them, like Wolverine was mixed with someone, and there's a bunch of them. But Moon Knight and Spider-Man was like super cool. They did like Captain America with Doctor Strange. It's like Soldier Supreme, and there are a few other ones that I'm blanking on at the moment. But
maybe we'll see that Soldier Supreme in the Captain America game.
That'd be pretty cool.
As a skin, the World War II Black Panther Captain America game.
Yeah.
Oh, we had apparently Ghost Panther.
Yeah, Ghost Panther, right? If he rode a big panther. Yeah. Good call, Spider-Man. There was another one. There was Wolverine was with Magic? I don't know. Anyway, I don't, dude. I would love to see Moon Knight and Midnight Suns, but I think they're done.
Yeah, feels like that's a wrap.
That said, Redfall off the top rope out of nowhere, dropping a major update today. So I guess you never know.
Oh yeah, we had a couple surprising Redfall updates this week. The first one is that they were at a whopping 3 concurrent players on Steam.
I feel like you're not going to play Redfall on Steam though. You know, I feel like you'd be playing on Xbox PC.
I mean, that's still horrific. I mean, that's
horrific.
but I saw Paul Tassie's article about it, and he mentioned that he thought they should he was wondering if they're actually going to release any of the content because it's been months since they did an update. And
people paid for it.
And they paid for it. So it was like either refund them or commit to spending money on this game with 3 concurrent Steam players. and they did. They dropped that 60 FPS performance update.
Oh, now everybody's eyes won't be broken.
Yeah, finally. So when you're hunting down those 3 villains per map, you'll be able to do it in 60 FPS. The only way to game.
Apparently,
because they're apparently 30 FPS. Can't do it anymore. We've evolved. Our eyes have evolved to the point where we can no longer watch anything at below 60.
Well, I will say I never cared about the frames per second, and look at me now.
There you go.
Maybe my eyes are ruined because of 30 frames per second. I think for sure. This is definitely the biggest hoarder. Because it was pretty empty. So that was, I think, my biggest issue.
Yeah, lack of enemy density. Other players reported like performance issues, and of course the 60 FPS stuff. But now, so they added the performance mode. They buffed enemy density. So let's see if they can get those concurrents up to 10, maybe 20. But that is a go. Like it's always baffling. Like I think the last time we heard something like that was Babylon's Fall, which had 1 concurrent player, which was High Ruler, who was sponsored to stream the game, literally, but that game didn't have the benefit of a Game Pass, so it disappeared within a year.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said though, you know, you're not going to see Game Pass users on Steam. So, and I'm not, listen, Game Pass PC may only have 15 people. Okay. But, you know, I would imagine most people are playing it that way if they're still playing it at all.
I'm sure they're playing that and Starfield on a constant 24-hour loop. they just can't get out of that ecosystem.
Yeah.
over on the Xbox, which is fine. So Mr. Shockwest, there's also going to be quite an eventful week for Spider-Man 2 next week. We got New York Comic-Con, which you won't be at.
Yeah, in my memories today, I was at New York Comic-Con last year and 2017, and it was painful to see because, you know, so cool, so many things. Like I was looking through my memories and pictures of me with former WWE World Champion Big E and Xavier Woods. So that was, you know,
very sad. Always sad to see. But you know, maybe next year when you're at 500,000 subscribers, they'll give you an invite this time around.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually like, there's still Thursday tickets, which is like the day to be there, and I'm probably not, but because I just paid all my bills and there ain't much left. So,
them bills, boy.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's probably makes a little bit more sense to just be home, but there's just a lot of stuff going on Thursday, and
true.
I'm so tempted just to like go because it's only a few hours, but I probably won't.
I'm definitely going to be home. It's pretty close to me, relatively close to me, but I'm going to make much more money if I just stay home and stream it.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, if my buddy is like, hey, you know, I got that hookup down in the city. You need to go pick it up. It'd be very convenient if it happened on a Thursday.
It would be pretty convenient. I'm hoping that I won't need to resort to any copies of Spider-Man 2 falling off the back of a truck. I'm in I recently was talking to my contact at Sony, so fingers crossed, hoping to get an update in the next few days or so about potentially a review code. So hopefully it doesn't come to me having to do anything drastic or have to like waiting till the 20th.
Yeah, I don't even care. Like, I just want to have videos ready. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a.
I want to avoid the major spoilers.
Yeah, there's obviously that aspect too. I don't know. I feel like, especially for Marvel games, I've been such a big contributor over the years to a lot of the games that they've made, and it's just
Midnight Suns recently.
It's just tough for me, like, to feel like I'm left out. You know what I mean? And listen, there's a million people that want the game. I get it. Like, who am I? But like, I don't know.
You're Jay Shackless.
I mean, you can go back on my channel with millions and millions of views on the Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, I got some other Spider-Man games, all the other games, Marvel Heroes. Ultimate Alliance. There's lots of
Marvel's Avengers.
Future Fight is the one I was trying to think of. Like, I think I have like 150 part series of Marvel Future Fight. You know what I mean? Marvel's Avengers, Midnight Suns. I mean, Bill Roseman actually followed me on Twitter. I don't know if he still does because I'm too afraid to see if he unfollowed me yet.
Check. Now we got to know.
God.
Did Bill Roseman unfollow Jay Shackless? That might be why you didn't get your answer from Sony about Spider-Man 2.
It still says you follow each other.
Oh, there you go. Bill Roseman. So Bill Roseman follows you on Twitter?
Yeah. All right. Well, I hate it when people like that follow me because, like, there's like a good and a bad to it, right? Obviously, they know who you are, but also, like, I'm like a shitty follow on Twitter sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm a great follow, okay? But sometimes I'm not, and I'm aware of that. So
I'm always very entertained by your timeline.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like a lot of people probably aren't in the professional scope of things. But yeah.
Fair. I mean, yeah, sure. Everyone doesn't like, sports ball.
Yeah, I've been trying to like cut back on that stuff. Especially because every time like I tweet something that, like, if you happen to be watching the big game, you know exactly what it is. I'll tweet something that like should be obvious for a sports fan, and people will respond with question mark. It's like, if you don't know, like, do you really think, like, I don't know.
I'm actually considering going the opposite way. I'm thinking of starting another channel just for basketball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basketball news and commentary, and with a live podcast.
All right, then. How do you feel about the two big trades?
Ooh, so first off,
I know this is dangerous, but
first off, congratulations to Dame Dollar for partially getting his ransom demand. he got out. Sucks for us over in Miami, because we were determined to get Dame, but it is.
Were you though?
I mean, well, Pat Riley wasn't. Everyone else was.
Yeah.
Pat Riley apparently didn't give a shit, because if you look at the package, it wasn't even that crazy of a deal to begin with. I mean, it worked out great for Portland. I mean, they got some first round picks. They got a bunch of assets. I mean, they got the package for Dame that included Drew Holiday, which they were able to flip for even more assets from Boston, which I know you're pretty happy about. Though
yeah.
Your roster is risky, bro.
It is. We are definitely light in the paint.
I'd be scared if your season relies on Porzingis' knees.
Yeah, well,
and Horford not being a 37-year-old man.
Right. I feel we just signed some kid from Miami, or not Miami. Played for the Lakers last year. And he, like, granted, anybody can make a mixtape and look good, but like,
literally anyone.
yeah, but like, I don't know, man. I don't like. He
was on the Lakers last year. Who was it? Was it Gabriel? Was he on the Lakers?
Yes.
Oh, he's okay.
Yeah. So Wenyan Gabriel. And he's from the area. Like he's from New Hampshire.
Yeah, he's okay. He's an energy guy.
Yeah, you could see that, you know. Plus this kid, Jordan Walsh, we drafted. He's a guard, 6'7", and I know it's summer league. You can't get like too excited about summer league.
Don't do it, Jay.
But he was one of the best players at summer league.
Not the summer league, not the best player the summer league take. No,
yeah,
don't fall into the trap.
I'm just saying that for a second round pick, pretty encouraging. He plays with a lot of energy. Yeah. He's only 19, which. Jason Tatum is also only 19.
To be fair, even though yes, summer league is largely meaningless, you are playing against, you know, borderline and former NBA players and prospects who are, you know, hungry, trying to get their shine. So it's very possible to show off some translatable skills in summer league that could potentially apply to the actual league that matters. So if you see a guy for instance getting completely bullied, a big man getting completely bullied in summer league physically, you know that's that's going to happen. Even worse in a regular league. But but if a guard, it shows that they can, you know, they can shoot consistently from deep, they can create their own shot. So and then you can look at it like, okay, but I think Miami definitely took a pretty big L there. Didn't get Drew or Dame out of it. Largely did not improve the roster, but Portland has some really interesting stuff they can do now. I feel like Phoenix got worse.
Yeah, I don't understand their part, like dropping Ayton.
Like I understand. I think I understand why they dropped Ayton, because there were reports that, you know, Ayton basically quit on the team last year because he didn't get along with the coach, and it kind of reflected in his play. But that said, Frank Vogel has a great history with big men in particular, and it is curious that they were like, we're just going to cut bait on a 25-year-old first round number 1 pick, and when we have an incoming coach that specializes in bigs.
I mean, Nurkic is good though. I mean,
Nurkic is good. So the problem with Nurkic is not only does he have injury concerns,
so is Ayton.
Yeah, but he's mostly been pretty healthy. I mean, Nurkic has definitely missed a lot more games, and he's significantly older. And on top of that, he's pretty awful on defense. His main contribution on the defensive end would be the fact that he actually matches up really well with Jokic. So if Phoenix ran into Denver again in the playoffs, they would actually have somebody that can reliably guard Jokic one-on-one. But other than that, it's just a little sketchy. But you know, he can shoot. He's a great passer. It's something that they didn't really have with Ayton. So maybe, but I don't know. Like everyone else, like Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, like
I mean, Beal, Durant, Gordon, Booker. I mean, only one ball.
Yeah, that's basically they're definitely going to have to outscore everyone.
Yeah, but isn't that the way they played anyway? Though last year, like,
I mean, when they had Paul, their strategy was basically to outscore people, but they had significantly more defense. Their pace was slower. It was basically half court with Booker and KD. Just let them play hero ball in the mid range. But now with Beal, it's like the question of, okay, well, Beal is basically he's basically your point guard. So, and he has shown that he's a really good playmaker, and at least in Washington, you know, he had that, you know, big 30-point per game season, but he also showed that he can play off ball and he's pretty solid at creating shots for others. So that's going to be the test. But I'm looking at the defense, and I mean, who's getting stops? Bill's not a great defender. Booker has gotten solid, a lot better than it used to be. Durant's actually pretty good, just skinny, and Bol is literally a traffic cone.
I mean, literally, I feel like Bol has already played for half the league.
Yeah.
I'll say this about like the Celtics. I love Time Lord. I loved Rob Williams, but that he is never going to play a full season.
No,
like
definitely not.
At his age, he's already like playing half a season every year. So it's a liability. If you could promise me he'd be healthy in the playoffs, I would feel different, but I don't think he's ever going to be. He's definitely a game changer when he's in there. But and then Malcolm Brogdon has been hurt like every year of his career. I loved him. He was great last year.
Love big fan of Brogdon. Loved him.
Yeah, but
he is always hurt.
But he's always hurt. And that's like the big concern. And Drew is like
33.
Yeah, so I don't love that, but
Porzingis used to always be hurt, but at least he made it last season.
Yeah. So our problem is going to be that the fact that we had the big bodies at one point. We're going to be matching up like at some point with big guy in Philly, Embiid, big guy in Milwaukee.
Well, it might not be Philly for long for Embiid.
Well, yeah, I don't buy that. It might not be Philly for long for anybody, I guess. And then Miami's got Bam, who's not like, he's a big man, but like he always gives us problems. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's mainly because he's so he's basically like a wingman.
Yeah,
that's playing the center. He's not going to he's not like a Embiid or Jokic who's just going to bully you in the paint. He's more of a I'll face you up, I'll attack you off the dribble, hit you with a turnaround jumper.
But the thing is that Tatum, like, I know they play him as a 3, but like
probably should be at the 4.
In a pinch, he could probably. I don't think people like know this. I think he's 7 feet tall. Like,
I don't know. I think
that's a big rumor.
I think he's close.
Yeah, that's the rumor because he came in at like 6'10", and they said he grew.
I feel like he came in at 6. I remember he came in like 6'8", 6'9", and I heard that he grew to like 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, but I think they like to want people to think he's smaller than he is. But either way, he's a big guy, he
could definitely play small ball 5 for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just what the Celtics are gonna do is play small ball. They did a lot last year, and the roster, Porzingis is like a tall 3,
basically, yeah, he's 7'3", but he's not really gonna back you down.
He's like a poor man's Dirk, except less defense.
Well, in the case of Dirk, less defense, but Porzingis is actually really good rim protector.
Yeah. Well, all right. So there you go. I'm not gonna like sit here and pretend I've watched every Porzingis game.
Oh, I haven't, but I am very familiar with his career from the Knicks and the sketchy his pet PED allegations and the muscle thing that may have contributed to an injury, and I was following him closely when he was on Dallas and pairing with Luka. I was really interested in that pairing, and he was, if he had stayed healthy and if they hadn't hated each other, they would have been pretty dangerous, because obviously Luka is incredible offensively, but Porzingis was pretty much the perfect center for what they needed to pair with Luka, because he's 7'3", he can shoot from 30, and he's not remotely shy about it. So he's a perfect pick and roll, pick and pop partner for Luka. Either way, either you pick and roll and you're just throwing it up over the rim and he's going to get it, or he's going to pop and you have to respect it. But on the defensive end, he's actually really solid at defending the pick and roll. Despite his size, he moves decent laterally, and it pretty much works out in drop coverage, but he can also step out in a pinch. But at the rim, he was really good at blocking shots and using his verticality. But unfortunately, he got injured in the playoffs, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Well, last thing before we go back to Spider-Man, because we were probably confused coming in. Like, what are they talking about? I'm looking at, is Spider-Man about to dunk it? One funny thing about Porzingis is Brad Stevens, I'm pretty sure, is just obsessed with him. Like, he's always wanted him. And there was a trade that was rumored a few years back, like probably like 7 or 8 years ago, when Porzingis was in New York, where it essentially would have worked out that the Celtics would have basically traded Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, those draft picks, for Porzingis.
Oh,
so there was other parts of it, but like I that popped up in my memories recently because I was like talking about the rumor that was going around, and I was like, oh my god, can you even imagine if the Celtics made that trade? I mean, the Knicks would have found a way to like screw up those picks.
Oh, of course they would.
But,
let's be honest. They would have definitely taken Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum.
yeah. So anyway, back to the Spear, man. I should have known what we were getting into, because look, I love talking basketball with you, but that's something we close with to fill time.
Well, the views actually didn't drop off at all. So
yeah, well,
we're fine with it. Yeah, so we got some basketball fans, but the other Spider-Man 2 update was that apparently we now have the whole opening title menu that just leaked completely. So we like all the content creators were basically allowed to show the title screen, which we know is Harry in the Oscorp lab looking at the symbiote. But somebody posted on Twitter basically the entire main menu sequence, which is, again, not, in terms of spoilers, definitely not the worst. I mean, because it's literally doesn't show us anything we didn't see already. It's literally just Harry still in the lab, looking at the symbiote. But we got to see like the whole sequence.
Do we know who the scientist in the foreground is? Is that his dad?
So I'm assuming it's either, well, it's definitely Norman, because Norman always wears a suit. But I think it's possibly Connors, because I can't see his other arm. And that's pretty much the only science.
Oh, that is a good call.
That's pretty much the main scientist that is always working with the symbiote, and not like basically that was a very top secret project, and the main scientist on that, the whole symbiote thing, which was mostly designed to find a cure for Harry's illness, is basically Norman just had Connors doing the bulk of the work there. So they were pretty much working closely together. So I'm assuming if there's a scientist there, it's probably Connors before he goes on Lizard, because the last time we saw the lab where the symbiote is held, Connors was there, and Norman had came in and ordered Connors to basically shut the whole thing down and let Harry out of the tank, because the symbiote wouldn't bond with Harry. It wasn't fixing the illness, and he just wanted Harry to not just be floating in a tank forever. So he had Connors let him out. So I'm guessing we'll get like some kind of prologue to kind of bridge that gap between that post-credit scene and what we see in later trailers and footage, because eventually we know Harry gets out, meets up with Peter, they start the Emily May Foundation, and cover your ears, chat, if you don't want to know this, but Harry knows who Peter is. So that's how that whole thing starts. But I think my screen froze.
Yeah.
Let me see if I change this. Will it?
Fellow glasses wearers, how long did it take you to adjust to them? Because I hate these things. Like, I feel like they hurt my eyes more than they help them. As a glasses wearer for like 2 weeks now, while he's doing his thing, y'all can help me understand. Like a day, really? I don't know what it is, but like I feel like they like make me feel worse. About a week. Can you unmute now? Yeah, because he's adjusting his camera. All right, he left, and he'll be back. Now that I'm in the big camera, I can see Thor got some dog hair on me. So what do you want to talk about? Yeah, so I mean, I'm obviously excited for Spider-Man. We've got New York Comic Con this week. Don't forget they'll be showing off some stuff at New York Comic Con this week. I believe they're showing off a new skin or two. Years, and then I got contacts. I used to both now. Gotcha. They told me that eventually I would like always want to wear them, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it, and I'm not wearing them as much as I'm supposed to. I've been wearing them since preschool. Gotcha. Am I going to be playing the Modern Warfare 3 beta? I downloaded it and I deleted stuff on my PlayStation to play it. So maybe I probably should, but like, here's the problem. All right. I've played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2, and I'm just not that great at it anymore, you know, and I don't have that fast twitch in me as the way that I used to. So I'm going to probably give it a try. I'm hoping to play a lot of the other game modes in Warzone, but I'm definitely going to get Modern Warfare 3 this time around for the Skeletor stuff. So, all right, so that's back. I filled the time.
I'm back. Sorry you had to listen to J Shock last for so long.
Yeah.
I had to just force quit out of Chrome, which is absolute horrible browser. I gotta find another one because Firefox for some reason won't let me run StreamYard, like even though it's supposed to.
Can anyone go see what Insomniac is going to show at New York Comic Con? If you're there, yes. I don't know if they're having like an actual, like if they have a room booked and they're doing like a showing like that. I would imagine they are, because
it's supposed to be at. I think it's going to be at the Marvel booth, which
really
where Ryan Penagos is going to be.
Interesting.
But
well, that's
they're definitely going to show it.
Yeah, at New York Comic Con in 2017. That's when Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 is coming out, and I went down for that, and they did both. They had an actual like conference hall set up, and then they also showed stuff at the booth itself. That was actually really cool because I knew the Lego people, and they gave me a little VIP wristband, so I didn't have to wait in line. I got to go sit right in front. Back when they respected me.
I don't care.
I'm looking it up right now. On they got the full schedule. It's the booth schedule. Yeah, it might be at the booth because it's Marvel Spider-Man 2 exclusive suit reveals in partnership with PlayStation.
Oh man.
They definitely have the normal booth where you can take photos with the statue.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to. I saw you mention something about it being at a booth, but it's definitely not going to be like a big Hall H thing.
Yeah. They did have a room like that.
Yeah.
For Lego Marvel, and they were giving out like these cool prints that artist I know Dan Wiesenmeyer did. But they also had like a play session at the Marvel area, which is not that huge in the grand scheme of things, but typically I can't imagine it being any, like, it's been about the same size every time. So I don't know, but you know, it's tough because like it's worth going down for New York Comic Con for a day.
Right.
It's just, I don't know if it's worth it for me, because it's going to be it would be an investment. You know, you got, like, gas is certainly not cheap. It's about 6 hours of driving in one day, maybe even actually more.
Those gas prices, bro. Ooh.
Yeah, dude, they're almost back up to $4.
Oh, only 4?
Yeah.
I'm used to hearing about 6, 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in California, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what, like 2019, when my wife and I went to San Francisco, we were driving down US 1 along the coast, and we ended up and this is before, like, typical gas prices were about what they are now, but they weren't like too ridiculous. And we were driving down, and there's like this one area called Big Sur, and like, you get to a certain point and there's a sign that says next exit 100 miles, and like, so you're stuck in that stretch, and there's one gas station in the middle. It was $6.50 a gallon.
I mean,
it was like $3 a gallon more than everywhere else. Everything there was jacked up. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense. You're the only business within that 100-mile stretch, so you gotta make sure that when you do get your visitors, you make enough money to justify having it open.
A regular bag of Doritos was like $10. Like, it was insane.
I mean, that shows once again the importance of competition in the free market. Because
$5.
I mean, because what are you going to do, Jay? Go to the gas station down the street?
Exactly. You know. Yeah. So I mean, it was definitely gouging.
100%.
Yeah. So it was insane to see. I would never do that drive again. It was definitely pretty. But like, it's like a 7 or 8 hour drive from San Francisco to LA going that way, and you're literally hugging the side of the coast the whole way. And at most parts of that drive, it is a long way down.
$4.50. That the economy or something. I don't know. I don't drive, so I don't care.
Oh,
I whenever I need to drive somewhere, I just call it Uber.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that I don't like leave often, so I don't have to like fill up that much. But yeah, like, we were just actually talking about this at grocery shopping last week. Like, it's insane how much everything's gone up. Like, there was just the family size box of I think it was like Reese Puff cereal. It was like $8. And I'm like, that was like $5 like a week ago. I swear to God. Like, it's insane. Like, everything is, you know.
I definitely know some stuff. Like, I used to get these sometimes I used to get these basically pre-cooked chicken wings from Aldi.
Yeah.
It was like $9, and you would basically get like 64 ounces of wings. Like, you could, like, it was a pretty nice chunk of wings, and then and they're pre-cooked, and they're like, you get them in buffalo or barbecue.
Yeah.
And like at some point in the last year, when I started reading about inflation, I ordered some from the Aldi, and it's the same price, but the bag came back significantly lighter. like I used to, like, when I used to get them before, I would throw some in the air fryer, and I have a pretty big air fryer.
Yeah.
So, but I would be able to basically fill up the air fryer 3 times with the bag. And now, with the current, for the same price, if I dump the whole thing out, it just fits into the air fryer.
That's another thing that everybody started doing, is making smaller portions for the same price. Yeah, it's insane. And like, I don't know. I think all politicians suck, but I also think it's crazy that that like Biden's kind of done the opposite of everything he said he was gonna do.
What a politician did the opposite of what they promised?
Here's the most egregious one, okay? Okay, how many times did you hear him talk about
Student loans,
well, not just that, but
Black
like
Lives Matter,
the wall, okay?
the wall he's currently building,
The wall he is currently building,
the
okay?
racist wall that is currently being built.
Oh my god. AOC, like I will never not laugh at her for the ridiculous pictures she took at that wall. The
fake
100% posed.
the fake photo shoot where they were wearing all white and she was pretending to be distraught. And when you saw what she was looking at, there was literally nothing there.
Yeah. It's honestly like I don't play for either team. I hate it all. I think it's tribalism on both sides, but my God, has everything just backfired. And I'll tell you what, have you ever seen the White House press secretary? I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Which one?
The one that they have now? I don't know her name.
The black one?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it.
Oh, of course.
She like
Karine Jean-Pierre.
She does mental gymnastics like no one I've ever seen before. Like
I mean, I don't. In her defense, she has to make sense of.
Oh,
of Joe Biden.
I don't blame her. Okay, that's the thing. I don't blame her, but it's just hilarious.
The job of the press secretary, for every administration, is to basically spin what the president says into something good and deliver the talking points and the messages. So, if you're Karine Jean-Pierre, when Biden says how do you spin that? How do you spin that into coherent?
Canceled.
Well, what the president meant to say was,
yeah, and she's scary. Like she scares me. Like she's fierce, and like she's like looks like she's trying to Homelander everybody out there. Like if that whatever that serum is that they take to become superheroes, if she ever got that, she would absolutely Homelander them.
Compound B. There actually is we did have that politician in the boys show that was popping people's heads off.
Yeah. That's right. You're right. I remember that. It was like a lady.
I know Kamala would love to do that to Biden so she could take over.
Oh, she's just AI anyway.
I mean, I think that's an insult to AI because I found ChatGPT. ChatGPT is much more articulate than Kamala Harris.
Yeah, yeah, and I hate it because like I feel like they're like setting it up for him to run again, and like they're blocking like legitimate candidates. I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into politics. I don't. There's no point. You know what I mean?
Political J.
Yeah, like I get like there's no point. Like there's no point in having political conversations on like Twitter, for instance. All right, especially in like our situation, because nobody gives a shit about what you think unless it's what they think. And if it's not what they think, fuck you. That's literally every political conversation on Twitter.
Pretty much. So instead of talking politics, let's talk Bungie.
Great segue.
Bungie, who basically got into a big political dispute this week. So you probably, if you were on Twitter, you probably saw the story about the tweet specifically where Bungie, probably well-meaning, decided to pander, and we're like, hey, let's pander to the Hispanic community, and they made a tweet about Latinx and whatever, which big trigger in the culture war. They waited right in that one. They got absolutely ratioed into the ground. They were hiding the comments, a lot of them from the Hispanic community, expressing their disdain for that term. But the funniest thing is, like, a few days later, they were hit by a lawsuit from a former HR manager who, get this, Jay, you won't believe it, they are alleging that Bungie internally has a culture of racism and discrimination, and she was fired in retaliation for calling it out. So,
I never heard that one before.
yeah, a big corporation who virtue signals on social media to racial ethnic groups is actually racist. News in other news, water is wet.
There's another one that happened this week at Ubisoft where a bunch of those people actually got arrested for the whole sexual misconduct stuff.
Yeah, that's usually an Activision Blizzard thing.
Well, it's funny because like I've only seen like the two big names, but I'm pretty sure there's another guy that was like one of the brand managers that was super popular on Twitter. Like I met him at PAX East one year and like seemed like a great dude. Everybody loved him. And then he got caught up in it too. And then he just disappeared. But I don't remember his name. But yeah, I've like literally never seen him again.
Oh, he must have been. That's where Truly Music be canceled. No one just hears from you ever again.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was looking for though when I was looking at those articles from Ubisoft, because I can't remember his name. I think he was from like Nigeria originally, and I just can't remember what his name was because it's not one that I'm used to. So I'm sure you got something. All right, yeah. They are like, because it was bad. Like it was bad.
To be clear, they've always been arresting people.
Yeah,
just not for things like shoplifting and rioting for social justice. but yeah, other crimes, sure. Yeah, in Philly, yeah, you're probably fine. In California or Philly, if you break into a Walgreens and just fill your cart, but for other crimes, yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're not. They're not gonna let that one slide. So yeah, it's kind of messed. It's been pretty rocky for the game industry. You had not only just the misconduct and Bungie getting just destroyed on Twitter, but you had a lot of layoffs. You had the Epic Games situation. You had the Crystal Dynamics situation and Embracer just continuing to just self-destruct. And recently, Naughty Dog fired a bunch of their contractors. And the noteworthy thing is that they're basically losing people left and right, mainly connected to that Last of Us Factions project, which apparently is now just dead. Like it was just reported that Anders Howard, who was principal monetization designer working on the Last of Us Factions, left the studio, and then viewer Annan, who is a pretty big industry leaker, basically just declared the game dead. It's dead, Jim.
Who wanted to play this anyway, though? Because like, I think Naughty Dog does a lot of great things. Multiplayer is not one of them. Okay, I hated Uncharted multiplayer. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure there was. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a big call for this. I know pretty sure after Last of Us 2, people mainly just wanted either a Last of Us 3 or them to basically just rewrite the Last of Us 2 so it didn't happen. And
I'm saying out of that one.
Yeah, I don't remember too many people saying, what we really need now, a live service multiplayer version of this. But when they announced it, people, I guess, were kind of cautiously like curious, at least, like maybe. And then they had the concept art, but the more time passed, the more it became clear this seemed to mainly be a thing pushed by maybe the heads of the studio, because I've heard that the developers in particular, I mean, this could also just been a top-down thing from Big Jim Ryan before he left, because we know his whole pitch was live service games he wanted to invest big in that over the next 10 years. So maybe he was like, he kind of just sent a memo to the different PlayStation studios. Hey, we need you to get into this live service thing. And then Naughty Dog were like, all right, well, we can try to spin off Last of Us into a live service. And they even sent, I think they even had Bungie consulting on it. And and they said it was a shit show. So it's not, this project seemed doomed. And obviously the developers who mainly do Last of Us would rather just do Last of Us 3 or
I need to take my union mandated pee break.
Do not spread misinformation. You are definitely not union. I would never. But the Last of Us factions, if it did come out, let's be honest, live service games fail way more often than they succeed, particularly on console. It's a lot easier to get them going when you go that mobile route. You know, the mobile market pretty much it's kind of figured out how to do it. But when it comes to AAA live service games on console, it's pretty risky because I remember Miller brought this up on a podcast recently, but for the price of probably like 7 AAA games, you're hoping that your one live service game bucks the trend and doesn't end up like another Anthem or another Marvel's Avengers or the countless other failed live service games and takes off. So it's definitely risky to kind of go in on that type of a game, which is why a lot of PlayStation studios were not entirely on board with Jim Ryan's plan to push heavily into live service over the next 10 years, because that's not really what PlayStation is known for. I mean, obviously they would love to have a Call of Duty of their own, you know, especially with the Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal, but you definitely don't want to lose sight of what PlayStation does best by kind of chasing that fool's gold. Jay needs a mason jar. That's show. Ooh, the idea of Jay peeing in a jar while like directly next to me on screen is just not something that I want to put into into the universe. Let's not make that happen. let Jay take his pee breaks. I'm not a monster here. What do you think this is? CD Projekt Red? I allow my employees to go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna have them peeing at their desks like a Marvel VFX artist.
Sorry.
Speaking of, what's up? I just made a tremendous joke about employee abuse at companies.
Oh geez. Nobody laughed though. Was it good, guys?
It was fantastic. Eastwood had mentioned that
I need a mason jar
at the desk, and I said I'm not that type of boss. I allow my employees to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to have Jay sitting at his desk peeing like a Marvel VFX artist.
Oh, I got you. I think it's cute that you think you're the boss here. No.
Yeah,
this is an equal. No, you know, my problem is I've drank like this is like right here. Okay, so I drank all that, and I had a whole one of these. So yeah. Anyway, I've been like drinking a ton of water lately, so it is what it is.
Well, water is good for you.
It is. You
should definitely drink more of it. It keeps you healthy. It actually helps you lose weight if you drink enough of it. Combined with a generally healthy lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, we're working on it.
Yeah, it's always a work. It's always a work in progress. I know the grind. You know those chicken nuggets be calling to you.
I need to get my prostate checked. No, it's just I drink a ton of like water, and I mean I know it's that time of life. You know, I'm gonna be 43 in for 25 days.
Holy,
So, yeah,
that is old.
well, it is what it is. You're what, 87, 86?
Yeah, Eastwood. I mean, yeah, I forget how old Eastwood is.
No, I'm talking about you like year.
Oh my! Oh, I was born in 2001.
I cap. So, anyway.
I love how Jay says cap.
Oh God, did you see that? What's his name? The old guy that hates Marvel. His granddaughter did like some TikTok, doing a bunch of like, God, why can't Scorsese.
Oh, she did. Yeah, is it the old guy who said he's these are his top Marvel movies and he just threw them all in the trash?
No, Martin Scorsese's like granddaughter did a TikTok with him where she like asked him what he thought like different like expressions the Utes say and what they mean. So it was like stinky link, I think, or something link. I had never heard of that one. Apparently it's like your side piece. There was like cap was one of them, obviously. It's
Martin Scorsese.
It's all over. I feel like it was all over social media today.
She taught Martin Scorsese cap.
Yeah, he did not. That was one. He actually got a bunch of them right.
Stinking Lake is crazy.
Yeah, I think that was one of them. I don't know.
I gotta find this.
Yeah,
I gotta find this X video. Martin Scorsese.
And she did it with like one of those filters. That was just annoying.
And
I think it was his granddaughter. They might have said daughter. So
let me just see. Martin Scorsese.
about 10 months younger.
Now I'm curious about this. Let's see if it's as entertaining as Jay is making it seem.
I'm not saying that it was entertaining. I'm just saying that it happened.
Basically saying it's the greatest thing.
Okay, I said it's honestly life-changing.
Found it. It was posted by Disgusting.
It was his daughter. Okay, so he had this daughter when he was like 60. Yeah, I thought it was his granddaughter, and when you see it, you'll think the same.
Well, it's because he's very old.
Yes.
All right, let me pull this up. We're reacting live.
We're reacting. This is a reaction video.
All right, so that's a start. Just turn the camera on.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you, or I'm going to ask you.
Now you know why I was like,
to guess what specific slang terms mean. And okay, I'll tell you it, and then I'll give you a sentence. Oh, you're going to tell me the slang word, and then I'm going to have to give you what I think it means. Yeah, tea. I'm going to spill the tea. That means you're going to tell all you know. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Ick. He clapped on the plane, landed, and that
he had her when he was like 60.
Jay definitely Jay didn't get this wrong.
Thoroughly,
Jay definitely got that wrong.
He got it right.
Okay,
you didn't.
Sneaky link. I would not tell you about
Sneaky link.
These are personal peccadillos that you may have, in your own your own life, your own thinking, and things that you want other people to know about, or just I don't know, some people are close to you or something like that. It's pretty much like a
side piece,
like a booty call. Oh, really? Yeah, term for like the specific person. Oh, I'm gonna go see my sneaky. Oh no, I didn't get that. No. Okay. All right. We never use it. We never saw specific people. My day. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. You got a nice little variety. Yeah. Okay. What else you got? It's different.
Casually
watching a movie in 70 mil. It's different.
It's different. Jay definitely didn't know this one.
It's an easy one. You perceive it in a totally different way. Not totally differently, but you see it
I say
see
this.
Like it's,
Cap.
it's another perspective on the image, so to speak, and the effect the film has on the audience. Yeah, like it's much better. Like amazing. Hits different. Like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, it really is good. Yeah. Slept on. I
Jay
was
definitely
thinking
did
about
get
some
this one.
stuff, so I slept on it. No. Oh, a king of comedy was slept on.
Underrated. Come on,
People
come
hated
on,
it
bro.
when
You
it
got
came out.
this.
Pretty much. Yeah, it wasn't like no. It was the flop of New Year. I was what that's what it was called. On Entertainment Tonight and New Year's Eve.
Jay's really struggling with this slang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. Sorry. How about 8? Lily Gladstone 8 in Killers of the Flower Moon. 8? 8. Oh, I mean, consume the
Nope.
the like the screen, the
Sadat the Gamer really
you know what I mean?
ate
Like,
that new video he made
took over,
today
like,
on his
you know,
channel, which you should definitely go watch.
what they used to say ruled. Is that it? Yeah, like she did really, really well. She did very well. She was great.
I definitely ate my editing
No cap,
today.
that movie is amazing.
On my
That
editing.
means no lying, you know. Yeah, it's like I'm telling you.
I'm actually
the truth.
shocked he knew
Yeah?
which
Okay, well,
what
how
no
many
cap
more
meant.
of these? There's like
And
4.
and Jay didn't.
A few more.
Not originally.
Ship.
When it
I
was still
ship-
kind of
ship is-
new.
Oh, no, like I ship them. Like they're so cute. I ship them. They're so cute. I have great fondness for them.
Nope.
No.
It's like fan fiction.
I ship you and mom.
like the romance.
Like
they're
take us
saying.
around somewhere.
Like they want to see two. You want to see two people romantically involved.
No, it's like ship. Like, oh, I like that couple. Like, yeah, that's good.
They originally came from
I'm
fan
trying
fiction.
to go sucking a little more. You know, a little more. Going for it. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going for the obvious. All right.
That one's actually not
notes.
that modern.
Don't you read these? So reach sympathize.
Jay,
or simp.
Jay knows
or
all about
like,
this one.
A simpy person, a person who's like whining all the time. They're simps, right? You're just like them. They get really annoying. You ever crush on someone? You're simping for them. Well, used to mean simp. Used to mean like like a wimpy person. Yeah,
Simp
a person
is
who's
a
always
lot more than
complaining,
having a
stuff
crush
like
on
that.
somebody.
I do that a lot. I whine a lot. Yeah, I complain a lot. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Now you're saying simp is a person you like? It's like,
It's more
you're
than that.
simping for someone. Like, instead of crushing on someone, you're sincere. Like, it's like pathetic. 'Cause
Like
you're
like if you're
you know?
if you're
Okay.
crushing on
Throw
someone,
shade.
you
That
try
critic
to
threw
you might
so
want
much
you're trying to
shade.
ask them out on a date.
Apparently, shade
If
is
you're
dark.
simping, you'll
Yeah,
let them step
and
on you.
apparently the critic they like the work, right? Well, yeah, throw shade. Slaps. Slaps.
I use this one all the time.
Slaps. This dessert slaps. I mean, obviously it's good. Obviously it's in. Yeah. Last one. This video, okay? Slay. This video slays. That means it's really good. We slayed in this video.
That's actually.
I mean, it's really good. Yeah, pretty much.
That is
okay.
Interesting. That is actually Slay is actually the name of the best-selling book by Brittany Morris from Insomniac Games, who we're hoping to have on the podcast.
Good segue.
It's all connected, like Kevin Feige says.
Yeah. So anyway, apologies to everybody for making you sit through that, but I don't know, reminded me of
Eastwood. Apparently you're head of Eastwood. He didn't know any of those. So you might actually be younger than Eastwood. Which makes sense. It's not just how old you are, it's how old you feel, right?
11 hours ago, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered.
Oh, they're already doing the remastered?
Has been confirmed. They're really just milking all their games, huh?
I mean, yeah, they dropped the Last of Us 1 remastered, which looked great, but that was literally it. It was just a graphical update. And that was it. So hopefully they add something like what else are they going to add to the Last of Us 2 remaster? Because that game, Last of Us 2, already looked great. It was pretty remarkable, what they did, considering it was a PS4 game. But what else are they going to? This definitely feels like a money grab.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him. But speaking of money grabs, we got a new Marvel product that just came out on Thursday evening, which I will give Marvel credit for finally getting with the times and realizing that every show should not be releasing at 3:00 in the morning, especially when you're not using the binge model. It literally makes no sense that you're having weekly, one episode per week shows that are coming on at 3:00 in the morning. No one's watching them. So just like Ahsoka, Loki made its premiere at 9 p.m. I did a watch party for it on my channel, and we did a little discussion, and then of course we had a little conversation. I did a promptu review. I'm sure you know your job, employee, and you made sure that you that you watched it.
I did
in preparation for the podcast. Just had that on, and now my initial impression was that I would say I definitely enjoyed season 2, episode 1 more than season 1, episode 1. I remember walking away from the premiere of the first episode, Loki, confused and disappointed. And with this one, I was like, I was entertained for the most part. Obviously, it goes without saying with these shows, particularly Loki, all the plot, all the time travel stuff, throw it out the window. It's complete nonsense. Makes literally no sense, especially if you think about it for like more than 30 seconds. So instead of just talking about how their entire premise and everything is completely nonsense and they spent pretty much no time working this out, I mainly just focused on, okay, well, even if the time travel stuff is complete gibberish, all right, what about the performances, the effects, the pacing, the plot was like, is it at least engaging? And it was. It looked good. I thought Ouroboros was a great addition. I thought I really loved the scenes they had together. Fortunately, Sylvie is indeed back, which my least favorite part of season 1, but at least we got a full episode where it was just, getting back together. Loki, Mobius, the addition of Obi were what made them a great pair. Had a couple laughs. I generally enjoyed that part. Unfortunately, Loki still being treated like he's weak, but at this point it is what it is. They're just not going to have this Loki be anything more than comic relief, but I was at least intrigued by some of what they're potentially setting up. My main concern is that they sent out reviews for reviewers. They sent out the first 4 episodes, and I'm hearing the plot for certain doesn't get better, and it's kind of like all over the place. I'm hearing for some people, and so that definitely concerns me a bit about the season, especially since I think there's only 6 episodes. So hopefully you would hope it comes together by those last 2, but I don't know. At least you hope that it's entertaining along the way. But when it comes to Disney Marvel stuff, my expectations are always basically in hell. So that's why I was probably pleasantly surprised by episode 1 of Loki. What did you think, Mr. Invincible is a 7?
I thought it was 7. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought you would be in on the joke there. So
I thought you were actually serious.
I mean, yeah, I am actually. I thought it's good. It's obviously kind of kicking things off, and it kicks off a little bit slow. Obviously, OB was really good. We definitely enjoyed him. I don't know, like I'm it's what I expected, kind of,
right?
Because we know that, like, We know Kang's coming, and we know that he warned us at the end that the next guy is the bad guy, is the one that's worse. So we know why Loki's concerned and what he's trying to do. And it's also interesting to see the dynamic of all these people that have been like programmed for centuries, apparently, a certain way, kind of having to like reconcile.
Yeah. It was interesting we're having them go basically argue about whether or not they should continue in the mass murder of infinite numbers of people.
Right.
That was like a wild conversation they were having.
it is, but like it made sense, because like they didn't understand it that way, but it's all they know, and it's like it's very much that like famous meme, "Are we the baddies?" You know what I mean? Like, and some of them are coming to that realization. Some of them are okay with it.
Pretty much one of them, the black woman, was just like, "Yeah, we committed a bunch of atrocity. Watch your tone."
Yeah,
I was like, I think the tone wasn't the worst part there. And make sure it's on the record. You got to speak into the microphone to bring up the mass atrocities you've been committing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Tom Hiddleston. I think he's a great actor. I think obviously Owen Wilson is fantastic in this too.
Wonderful.
I feel like both of them are just going to be able to carry it, they
have that kind of charisma.
Yeah, and like Mobius is a character that like nobody ever gave a shit about, like Owen Wilson's literally the only reason anybody will ever care about this character.
100%.
And he took a nothing, like not even an F-list character, and he made him pretty interesting, you know what I mean? And it's I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. Like, I don't need everything to be a 10 out of 10. It would certainly be nice if it was.
Or at least an 8, a consistent 8.5.
I mean, that'd be great. But that's really good too, though. Like I think a lot of people think that like an 8.5 is like a bad thing or something. Like this for all the people where the scale starts at 9. Like 8.5 is an amazing score. And I would love it if it was that, but like, if we're stuck in the 7s, like Invincible, then
tell that to Xbox players. Tell them that 83 isn't bad to stop harassing us.
I mean, listen, both sides of that are terrible all the time. So
I think Loki is. I gave it a. I feel like a 7 is fair because I did enjoy it. Obviously, if I wanted to nitpick or just point out some obvious flaws, there definitely were some. There was a couple a little bit of bad editing. People who remember Loki from the first Avengers movie will definitely not appreciate them continuing to treat him like a joke and like he's weak. Like they literally had the first time we see Loki in season 2, he's running away from like 2 guards and Mobius, and by the end, they mention how Sylvie beat him up. They make that a whole thing, and then at the end when they're mobilizing their response to find Sylvie, they're basically sending the entire TVA, like they're sending an entire army through the time portal. Just for Sylvie, and they sent like 4 guards to chase Loki. It's like yes, we get it. we get it. The male character weak. We know, but that
can't
part...
say that, Sadat. You can't talk about the MCU that way.
It is kind of blatant though. Like, come on, like.
We're not allowed to have that conversation.
We can't have that conversation.
We're just big dumb men.
Purely coincidence that Loki is completely weak in his literal variant. That's just a female version of himself is 100 times stronger and faster and smarter. Pure coincidence, has nothing to do with politics or
pure coincidence that the next movie, every character is a lady.
Not this year.
Oh, I actually I guess Samuel L. Jackson's in it too.
He is. So get that right. Samuel L. Jackson, who quit on Earth after the events of Secret Invasion and left it in the hands of two women. One of them has everyone's in the universe's power. The other one is a rival spy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, it is a legitimate argument that they definitely enhance the female perspective in these things.
Which, to be fair, like obviously there are people who make their entire careers on saying diversity, but but it is fair. It is fair to point out when it's done in a toxic way, like the perfect example is Arcane League of Legends. That was a great show that was incredibly diverse, but they didn't bring diversity at the expense of anyone else. There's just diversity in just naturally having diverse ideas, characters, but it's not done at the expense of a good story. And then there's activism, which is what has been hurting a lot of projects over the last 5 or 6 years in particular, I would say. And I totally understand why Marvel would do that, because this is basically them overcorrecting, because there's absolutely no reason that DC should have had a female-led superhero movie before the MCU did. Like that was actually just ridiculous. But the reason is because they had executives that were like, even despite the fact that you had all this momentum with the Avengers and everything, you're like, you had Scarlett Johansson, an A-lister, one of the biggest stars in the world at the time, coming off this massive success, was like, oh well, we can't have her lead a Black Widow movie because no one is going to want to see a female-led superhero movie. And then it took DC coming through with the Wonder Woman movie to shake them out of it and be like, oh, okay, I guess we were wrong.
To be fair, Wonder Woman deserves a movie far more than Black Widow. Like Wonder Woman is literally one of their top 3 characters.
Yeah, but Black Widow is also even though she's not like,
you just wanted the cake, okay? Let's just admit it.
I mean,
you just wanted the cake.
I mean, literally every Wonder Woman fan wants the cake. So let's not.
No, I'm talking about Black Widow.
Look how Wonder Woman dresses compared to Black Widow. Let's be honest. But my point was that the reason why people wanted a Black Widow movie is because Scarlett Johansson was
Slade.
The big one was already one going into the MCU, already one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Black Widow she's not Spider-Man, but she's a very popular character in Marvel. And you have that very popular character brought to life by one of the biggest actresses in the world. It's like common sense. You give her a movie, especially since you've given Scarlett Johansson movies for lesser IPs.
And then they did it too late, and it was not.
and poorly. But
then you had like that, and they girl powered that one up too, though. Taskmaster, for instance.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I understand.
Completely unnecessary.
Completely. But I understand why they would want to reevaluate their internal processes, because it's like, yeah, they missed a big opportunity there where they could have been, ahead of things by having a female-led superhero movie that also made them a lot of money.
Like Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, and they dropped the ball, and DC beat them to it. That's when they course corrected, probably hired some of the wrong people, and that's when kind of things started getting downhill. And instead of just naturally incorporating more female characters into the MCU, it started coming at the expense of male characters, and it started looking a little more activisty than just purely for the sake of art and plot. And it's uncoincidentally led to a huge drop in just Marvel, just Disney in general's brand and success. And it definitely, I feel like, tanked Loki season 1, because if you want it, because
Sylvie was a legit character though.
Because they just made the show they just made it her show. Like, if you wanted to make first of all, going into it, no one asked for a Sylvie show, because if you asked Marvel fans, they would like, what? Who?
But like, they didn't pull her out of thin air. She like existed, and
but the issue was that there was no demand for it, and they marketed the show as a Loki show about Tom Hiddleston, just to bait and switch and make it an entire origin story about Sylvie, where Tom Hiddleston's Loki is basically the comic relief, getting kneed in the balls and out with it.
I mean, I see some of that for sure. But I feel like Loki has always been a bit of a dope.
They literally did it on a loop. but
yeah.
But that speaks to the point of how the characters have been evolving. Like,
I do think that's one of the least egregious ones, though, to me. Like, I look at more, like, even look at like the Marvels, right? Like, it's fine that the top 3 characters are female. I agree that they all should be. I'm no problem with, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and is she Photon in this, or?
I think she's probably going to eventually be Photon. Yeah. They're still calling her Mon Carambo in the marketing, but
okay.
She is.
But like, even the Kree that's after them is female.
Yeah.
Because like, that's not really a thing, and I don't think there are any accusers. I mean, maybe she's a legit Kree character. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they just gender swapped the character they were trying to do. That's what I heard. But
then you look at the Black Widow movie, and they gender swap Taskmaster, who, by the way, I believe is a black man in the comics.
Yeah, so they're also racist for doing that,
right?
But they literally whitewashed a black male character.
Yeah,
but I think the worst thing they did to Taskmaster wasn't erasing a black man, but which was bad, but also just the fact they just basically stole the Deadpool from X-Men Origins thing by just making it a character that can't with literally no personality.
I'm glad you mentioned Deadpool, because I would like to just interject. I know that Eastwood was talking about NFL. The NFL has been taken over by Taylor Swift. Okay,
I saw,
and I don't know if you saw, but on Monday Night Football, Taylor was in New York City because the Chiefs are playing the Jets, and she brought some friends with her. Did you see this?
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds,
and the director of Deadpool 3. She is a very great friend with Blake Lively, and also Ryan Reynolds.
I heard she's supposed to play Dazzler.
She is supposedly going to play Dazzler. She is actually dressed up in Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool costume for Halloween before, like the actual movie costume. Like, he let her borrow it for a Halloween party.
Must be nice.
Yeah. So like, it's very interesting. Like, first of all, they're back to work, thank God. But like, I feel like Deadpool 3.
Wait, did the actor strike?
I think they're kind of like, it's done, but like, they're just like, need to iron some things out. But people are like starting to like, get their shit back together.
Yeah, like last I heard, there's still the negotiation talks are continuing calmly.
I thought that they had basically reached a deal, and it was just dotting some T's and crossing some I's. Nailed it.
From what I've seen, they're still negotiating, and they're planning to do that over the weekend.
Yeah,
but they are negotiating. Apparently it's not no deal yet, but they are meeting, they are negotiating. So I would imagine it's not going to last that much longer.
I feel like there's some like hush hush stuff going on. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, but yeah, I thought that was very interesting to see that out in the open. it seems like, and I don't think like Taylor Swift's going to be in this thing for a very long time. But what I do think is that my wife is absolutely going to see the movie with me this time.
Oh, she's a Swiftie.
Oh, I've told this story many times before. Our second ever date. Okay, we went to this Chinese restaurant called Fangs. I'm standing in front waiting for her to come, and I watch her drive right by me and pull down one of the rows, park, and then proceed to sit in her car for like 4 minutes. I'm like, okay, she definitely saw me. What is going on? Sorry, a Taylor Swift song came on the radio, and I needed for it to finish. So yeah,
she had to say. I mean, what song did you say? What song it was?
I don't remember. It was like 8 years ago. So at this point,
but it was the radio, so it could have been anything.
Yeah, it was on the radio. It could have been anything. And
I mean, if it was red, if it was red, I can understand. That song slaps.
We did also go see the first Deadpool movie. I want to say at IMAX.
Did she also force you to go see the Taylor Swift concert movie?
No, she doesn't. We haven't been forced to do really anything. She doesn't like leaving the house. So that's part of the issue. So, like she's fine just like staying home. You know, that's why we watch Big Brother and
living the dream. Yeah. I too don't like leaving the house.
Tomorrow we're venturing off to New Hampshire to go to Costco. It's our big adventure for the weekend. We've decided to go to this one because it's like maybe 10 minutes further away than the closest one near Boston, but there's no state sales tax in New Hampshire, so yeah.
So basically you're economic refugees.
Yeah, so basically we're gonna go there.
You're crossing the border.
And dude, it's like literally like 10 feet over the border. Like the state line goes like, I'm pretty sure, through their parking lot. So we're basically just I was scouting ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick up Detective Pikachu Returns at the Best Buy up there too. So
what are you buying?
I don't know. We just like to go to Costco every so often.
Just to load up with some things.
Yeah. The only thing that is on the list so far that I'm aware of is tissues. So
for you're running low from private time in your office?
She is a teacher, so she has to supply her own supplies.
Oh yeah, that's they actually speaking of, I just saw a story blow up recently. This teacher was put on leave because
of OnlyFans.
They found out she had an OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
Apparently she was making like $42,000 a year. I think she was also supplying her own school supplies, and she was making like an extra $8,000 to $10,000 a month on OnlyFans. And I think that was before the story broke.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't feel like people should be like shamed from their job for doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that, yeah, she's a teacher, whatever, but like, I don't know. Her students really aren't supposed to be on that site.
I mean, we can assume someone in administration was on that site. That's how they find out.
Whatever it may be, I don't know. I just kind of feel like
it'd be one thing if she was like filming stuff in the classroom,
right.
But if she's just doing it in her own private, like, who cares?
It happened with a police officer too.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a big deal. Like, it's it's her own private thing. Like, let her do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Like Steven says, although my wife's school district is not one of the worst. Like, we're never moving. We're stuck here. She's riding this out to retirement. It's good, and she's about to finish her master's, and it's about to get better.
Oh, got that good pay and benefits.
Yeah,
pension.
Principal definitely got caught by his wife.
You 100% know something like that happened, because you know the guys aren't going to say nothing,
right?
So you know it was some Karen, probably the wife or girlfriend of somebody that found out about it, and they were like, "What? You know something about this? Because really, who is she hurting?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like. I just think that stuff is stupid.
Just pay.
I
If they had paid her, if they were paying her more, she wouldn't have started OnlyFans account
right.
to begin with.
I just feel like there's just she's not hurting anyone. She's not breaking any laws. Like
Yeah, pay your teachers more and don't make them supply their own classrooms with supplies.
if she was making $6 to $8 grand a month, she was probably making like twice what she was as a teacher.
Oh yeah, she doesn't need to teach now.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
she probably loves to teach.
Yeah, so like that's the thing. I don't know. I just think it's stupid. Like I just don't understand.
Yeah, I mean now she's probably making double that because the story went viral.
Yeah.
People doing some research to to see what she was teaching on OF. But I think it's definitely, like, obviously there's some definite issues with the teachers union system, but in general you have some teachers that are in really just terrible situations. Like I remember from when I was going to school in the hood. I'll say, when I used to work at a bookstore, I was managing the children's section. I had a couple of teachers come in, and they were teaching at one of those lower income schools, and they were just loading up on all this stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, they were getting pencils and books and all this. I'm like, and they were just like, oh yeah, this is just for the classroom. Like they don't give us any of these supplies. She says it's kind of a nightmare over there to have kids showing up, hungry. They haven't eaten because they haven't eaten at home. It's like a complete shit show. So I ended up hooking them up, but it's a shame what a lot of these schools are going through, despite how much, just on average, our country spends on education. It's actually just insane.
Right.
We're not getting any results. But I'm sure your wife is one of the good ones.
I mean, she's one of the ones where if you just show up and just do your work, you're gonna get through. And I feel like that's what most people want out of their teacher. Like she's not gonna press anyone.
Oh yeah, I like a chill teacher who's just who's not gonna just do too much. Like just here's the stuff. Obviously, it's great if you can teach me something,
right?
Like,
well, yeah.
Make the lessons interesting and engaging.
She teaches math. That's impossible.
It's possible, but it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard.
High school math. So, I mean, nerd math.
My high school math teacher, his idea of making math more accessible and relatable to the mostly black students that he was teaching was to he was a extremely Jewish man, large, and he was probably like 50 years old, and he would always speak to us in rap slang from the from the 90s. Like he started his lesson, he started the class be like, yo, Mr. Slurs. Like, oh no.
Pause.
It was very cringe. It was about like he was towing that line between trying to be relatable and like mocking us. It was not something I was out. It definitely didn't help me get better grades in math. I'll tell you that right now. But I just generally hated math because and I understand when you're in high school math, it's like if you're not, unless you're doing like AP classes with kids who probably are going to use math in their careers, it's a waste of everyone's time. Like you don't past a certain point. Like once you get past like fractions and you're pretty much at a point once you get two fractions, actually you're at a point where 99% of people don't need it. because let's be honest, like the only beyond addition and subtraction and multiplication, like you're basically the only math you pretty much use on a day-to-day basis is probably going to be like, I need to know the percentage of something.
Yeah.
And you have a calculator and AI for that now.
I agree. I don't disagree. There definitely needs to be an overhaul of the whole process of school. There used to be like home economics classes where you would like learn how to balance a checkbook and stuff like that. And I mean, I remember doing that in like 8th grade, you know, and I just feel like stuff like that is very useful.
Yeah, I would love a class that taught me about opening a money market account. That would be very useful instead of teaching me about algebra.
Yeah.
I'm never going to use that.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't disagree, especially with like a lot of the new way that they do math too.
Yeah, what's new way, like a 2 + 2 = 5? That new math.
No, the new math where in order to get there, you have to take 47 extra steps.
Oh yeah, I'm out of loop on that, man. Once I quit college, I put school in my rearview mirror. I was like, I never want to see homework again.
Yeah.
or again, if I need to know it, especially now, if I need to know anything math related, I just ask ChatGPT, and I'll get the answer in seconds. If I'm curious enough to want to know how it arrived at that answer, I'll do that. I'll be like, explain it to me like I'm 5, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, they always make me show my work. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough math talk. I guess that's literally boring me.
Hey, your teacher wife would be ashamed to hear that.
No, she wouldn't. She hates it too.
she's a math teacher who hates teaching math.
I mean, I don't know that she hates teaching math, but like, who likes to teach math?
Jeez, even math teachers don't like it. That's tough.
Let me take that back. She loves her job. We'll leave it at that.
Just in case the administration is watching.
I actually, she doesn't Twitter or anything like that, but I heard that like her math department had a Twitter account, and I went and blocked it.
Good call.
Like, ain't nobody over there looking into me.
No, so. They want to see your spice. They want to see your spicy.
Well,
tweet.
You know what it is though. Like her students find out that, oh, your husband a YouTuber. I don't know how it happens. Like I feel like the other teachers talk.
Your husband is Jay Shockblast.
Oh. It literally happens. Like, so I don't know. She doesn't advertise it or anything. You know.
Did you ever come to the parent teacher conferences and be like, oh, it's Jay Shockblast?
I don't go to any of that stuff. Although I will say one of the more surreal things was one of my best friends from high school. Her son had her last year as a junior, and that made me feel really old.
As it should.
Yeah, like her son's a senior this year, and he's been to our. It was always weird because like he's been to our house before. So before he was like, I think he was in 8th grade at the time. But yeah. So, and it was like this unspoken bond they had all year to just not talk about it. So it was pretty funny.
That is actually hilarious. I am thinking like how awkward would that be if you were like a content creator and your kids is just in school. School just knows them.
Well, it was always funny because he follows me on Instagram, so like I would always like middle of the day, Matt looking at my Instagram post. So yeah. Anyway,
got him. So you giving Loki a 7?
I mean, like, sure, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It's a good starting point. We'll see what happens.
What do you think of Sylvie not knowing how McDonald's works?
Well, when would she learn?
I mean, she's been through how many different times?
You know what? That's true, actually. Yeah, including that's actually a good point.
Including the future.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that one. I want that one back.
Yeah.
It's like Steph Curry's going to be in Fortnite.
Oh God, how many? There's always something.
Yeah.
Fortnite. LeBron James was in now. Steph Curry.
Giannis.
Giannis.
Whatever.
Giannis. Don't you say whatever, you racist. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Look, okay.
Say his name.
Antetokounmpo. I was close. Nailed it.
Close enough. I just noticed actually that NBA is literally just technically started up again. I was just scrolling through my YouTube homepage and I saw that they had a Dallas Mavericks game, but it was like in somewhere over. I feel like it was in the Middle East, based on the name. I forgot what country it was, but I was like, oh.
You know what we haven't done yet? Talked about that new game that just came out that we've both been playing.
What? I thought we talked about Eternights.
Ubisoft creator program here. Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Oh yeah, that game did come out this week.
Yeah.
Jay Shock Blast got to play it a couple of days early.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I got to play it precisely 1 day early.
Yeah, well, you'll be laughing at me when you get Spider-Man first, so don't feel too bad.
Allegedly.
I'm kind of annoyed. Like, I guess I should have expected it, but like Valhalla did pretty well for me. And I know I dumped a lot of the story videos yesterday, like on the first day I could, and they're not really necessarily doing anything. I did have my first video go over 1,000 views on how to find the outfits and stuff. So I probably should have concentrated on that, but I'm actually really disappointed. This video, the video is just not doing great at all. And I think part of that might be because there's Twitch drops and people are just watching the streams. But
yeah, I don't know. I did since I didn't get the game as early as I was supposed to. I basically was just limited to doing a live stream on the day before. They're okay. 2,400 views on the live stream, and then on launch day, I did a stream with the Twitch drops, and I was mostly enjoying the game. I hadn't played an Assassin's Creed game since the first one, and this was very much like a throwback to those early Assassin's Creed games, focused more on the stealth elements, but which is perfectly up my alley. I love that type of stuff. I love stealth in games, especially when you have the tools to do some cool stuff with it. But I do have some issues apart from some technical stuff. I don't like how on rails some of the stuff is. I just completed a mission today where you basically have to break into this well guarded place and assassinate this guy, but he basically never comes out. So you have to figure out a way to lure him out, and so I create some drama with some merchants and end up sneaking in with them in order to have them protest, which draws him out. And once he's out there, then you have to figure out a way to assassinate him once it's on the balcony. So I was like, okay, well, I drew him out, and I'm in the crowd. But if I leave the crowd, the merchants that I'm in, the guards are going to see me and immediately, chase me. That's for whatever reason. Is if the guards see you, you're not supposed to be there. They're gonna pack you up. So I'm like, okay, so I got to figure out a way to assassinate him from the balcony, from where I'm standing on the ground, and blended in with these merchants. So I'm like, okay, I'll use the throwing knife. So so while I'm blended in, I aim and chuck the knife, hit him dead in the head, instant kill, and immediately dip out before I'm seen. No, before the alarm can be raised, I'm out. And to my surprise, the mission doesn't end
because you have to confirm the kill.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm like, oh, that was stupid. So he's dead. So I have to go back in, blend back in with the crowd. Then I end up racing up the steps, dodging through one of the guards, jump down on the balcony, and land next to his dead body to trigger the cutscene where I have to hang him in front of everyone and then disappear to the ancestral plane so I can unlock a new ability. And I'm like, this was stupid.
Well, you picked the worst way to go about it. Let me tell you a little story about that. There was like a way to sneak in through a little
the water.
Yeah, so I snuck in through the water.
I did that, and
I slit everybody's throats. Just start picking them off one by one, and then I think there was a way to like create an explosion that drew him out. And when I did it, I was like on the roof already, so it was like just an easy kill. And then after I jumped down, I had to fight some people and run out. But yeah, I remember that mission. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like stabbing him in the head with a knife was the easiest way.
Well, you've always I know you said it's your first game in a while, but like you still have to confirm the kill because you have the feather. So you have to like wipe the feather. They give you the feather every time you go to do the assassination, and that's how you confirm the kill. And in all the other games, that was another dynamic. Killing him isn't enough. You still have to walk up to the body, confirm the kill. If you don't do an action, like in this one at least, if you actually get the RB to assassinate, it like goes right into it, you know. In other games you could do that and then you still had to hit, you know, for you triangle to confirm the kill.
But that's the thing. That didn't pop up at all. Like the confirmed kill, that wasn't even a thing. Like when I dropped down, it just covered. He was already dead. It just covered the cutscene. So that's like, it'd be one thing if it was like if it said in the mission instructions, okay, you have to kill this guy but in a specific way to that you can confirm the kill with the feather. But the way they did it, the whole reason you had to be up there on the balcony and kill him is because they had to do that specific cutscene.
So we are talking about Mirage, and I think that the assumption is that you understand that you still have to, you still have to do the feather situation, and in order to do that, you have to be there. So, and maybe they could have explained that better, but I feel like it's a thing now that you know,
or at least show the damn feather.
Yeah. Well, they usually like I don't like you might not be like they hand you the feather every time they tell you what mission to go do. So you might not have just picked up on it.
Yeah, I didn't. I've seen the feathers, but he didn't even. The first thing he did when he dropped down was just string him up.
Yeah. So from what I understand, like here's my thing about this game. Okay, a lot of people are like, I'm seeing a lot of people out there like, oh, it's a return to what Assassin's Creed is supposed to be. And I understand that to an extent. I understand that, you know, it's got a little bit more of the sneaky sneaks and people are into that, and that's fine. I get that. But like objectively, Valhalla, Origins, and Odyssey are so much better. And I understand that some people probably got tired of
the big open world stuff.
That and the mythological stuff. But I'm looking at this game, and from what I understand, this was originally going to be an expansion for Valhalla.
It's supposed to be DLC, yeah.
Basically. Yeah, and it's a big full game. There's a ton to do. They obviously expanded it, but like I don't understand what you're gonna do when you're done with the game. I've slowed down a little bit because I've been like uploading so much and trying to get everything, you know, sorted out, and I've got lots of video to edit. But like I'm very close to being done with everything. And by done with everything, I mean like everything, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I think this one was meant to be like a smaller experience to like hold you over until the next big Assassin's Creed game.
But they've got like skins that are already on sale, which is fine. That's what they've done in all the games.
Of course.
All right. But like with Valhalla, I went back to Valhalla the other day because there's the Ubisoft rewards, and I did not have enough point. I've had to build up points for a long time, and then I've just spent them all on, you know, Valhalla and Odyssey, whatever. And I just haven't been playing enough since then to earn them back. So I had enough to get, you know, Altair's suit and something else, but I haven't had enough to get Ezio's suit. And I wanted to go back into Valhalla to see if I was close to getting any points. And when I went back in, I realized like how much stuff has come out for that game since the last time I logged in, and just how much there is to do. Like you could literally get 200 hours out of that game, and it's like almost like a single player. It's almost like a single player like MMO in a way. And I disagree with Steven about Valhalla being a terrible game. I understand that the focus wasn't as much on the assassins, and that's the problem that a lot of people had, is that it wasn't as assassin-y, but it was still like it was still an Assassin's Creed game. And I don't know. I understand, like that's what I was getting at. Like I understand like there's a lot of mythology involved, and it was very much a timepiece game, of the Norse coming into England and stuff like that. And I get all that. I get those arguments, but like it's a fantastic game that I love. And same with Odyssey's. I go back, like honestly, Odyssey is such a great game, and it's just so like I love Odyssey. Probably my second favorite behind Assassin's Creed 2. But like I feel like the stories are there. And even though it's not like, even though they did take a huge shift in Valhalla and went mythological, like heavy, I still feel like there's enough assassin-y stuff there to be good. I do understand that this one definitely, we're talking about the hidden ones. What I really appreciate about it is we're not dealing with the freaking animus. All right. Like that thing's gone.
I wouldn't mind if they go full. I don't care about the mythology. Like you give me a Assassin's Creed Shinobi. Shit, I don't care if they're literally doing magic. Like
like that's how I feel. And there's enough there to tie them in. This is all early period stuff too for the assassins. Like the hidden ones, we're still pretty early into the stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. I appreciate your feedback, Steven. I love Valhalla. I think it's a great game. It's one of my favorites. Probably Origins was amazing, and I loved dealing with the Egyptian mythology. I love dealing with the Greek mythology. I love dealing with the Norse mythology. I thought that part was interesting and engaging. I appreciate why people want these games to focus on the assassins and the Brotherhood and the Order and the Templars and all that. But I felt like this was a way to keep it fresh, but whatever. I love the games, and
I mean, it's apparently very successful. So
yeah, I think this is a step back a little bit. I just feel like
Skill Up didn't recommend it.
So yeah, I think it's still a good game, and it's only $50. So, it's not like it's a full $60 game or $70 game, but I feel like you're getting a great time out of it. It's a cool story. I love the setting. I love being in Iraq. Like, I feel like it
looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I love the fact that like I love trying to like learn the Arabic like greetings, even though Sadat wants to cancel me for just trying to be friendly.
You're not allowed to say any Arabic ever.
Why? There are white people that speak Arabic.
Yeah, they're Arabic. You're not.
All right, so like, am I like not allowed to speak French either?
Yes.
All right, that doesn't make sense.
If you go to France, you'll understand. They don't like your kind over there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anyway, so Sadat the Gamer confirmed you're only allowed to speak English.
Oh, you can speak Spanish if you want.
Whatever. Anyway, I just look. I feel like these are great. It's a great, like, I love learning the culture. I love learning how they interact. And I just think I really love the game. I do. I just think it's not going to last as long as some of the other ones. If this means they're able to push this type of game out more often, then okay, cool. Because
I mean, pretty sure it's by design. Like it's not supposed to be like a Valhalla in terms of longevity.
Right, but like that was one of the things that they had going for them with Valhalla, with Odyssey, with Origins, is there was the longevity, so they could keep pushing out those, $15, $20 skin packs,
Well, they might add some more content later, but aren't there like 2 big Assassin's Creed games in development right now?
Oh, there's probably like 5 or 6,
Not including the mobile stuff.
Yeah. So, but like Ubisoft has like a million studios, so
yeah, but they did close some of them.
oh well.
There were definitely some cutbacks at Ubisoft. I heard about it earlier in the year. So
Yeah. Well, in any event, I don't know. I think it's a good game. I just loved Valhalla.
what I really want for Ubisoft to do is to reveal that Daredevil game I know they're working on.
I mean, I just want them to. I just want any Marvel game, really. So
yeah. So we still haven't heard anything from Skydance Media this year on that Captain America and Black Panther World War II game.
But that was probably one of those things where it was as much a game announcement as it was, like a hiring announcement.
Well, because that's where there's different, because the thing about that game is unlike some of the other stuff that's usually the case. This was a game where they had already pretty much assembled their team and they've been working on it for 2 years before that announcement.
Yeah, doesn't mean that.
So it was more. So it was at least further along than games typically are in that announcement phase. Like we know, last Ronin game, pretty much they're just pretty much getting started. Like it's pretty early in development, and that was very much a hey, we're hiring thing. Same similar to the Iron Man thing at EA, but the Skydance Media one, yeah, that been at least 2 or 3 years that they've been working on that one, and then we finally got the announcement. So that's why I was surprised we didn't get anything yet. Maybe we still have the Game Awards. Maybe some games will pop up during New York Comic Con week. That's definitely a possibility. Besides Spider-Man 2, some games might decide to show something. Like we still got the other DC game from W Games Montreal that they're working on. They still haven't officially announced that one. We know that one's in early development. They started hiring for that in December from what we saw from the postings. So
I know one of the people I met while I was there just left the studio and moved back to France, but I don't know. I don't think she's with WB anymore.
Yeah, I know Patrick left. He was the head of the studio, and I think he went to Ubisoft actually.
So across town.
Yeah. So there's some shakeups at the studio, but yeah, from what I know, that DC game is still in development. They just haven't announced what it is exactly yet. And Suicide Squad is also supposed to be, or they're going to have to start ramping up. I did see one of the developers tweeted out that they have like merch. There's like Suicide Squad merch on Amazon.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like a lot of these deals were like planned out so far in advance, Like there's the comic too, because I saw Hoarder Gamer tweet out the graphic novel got posted on like Target.com, so which collects the 6 issues.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be out in May, and then they forgot to tell retailers that it was supposed to be delayed because the game was pushed to next year. So that was a big mess. But yeah, but if they intend to stick to that February, if it was February 1st, 2024, they're going to have to start marketing the game again soon.
Marketing,
yeah.
I feel like the Game Awards is probably a good time to unveil that next trailer, and I mean,
I don't think
that still gives them 2 full months to.
I don't think they should do a trailer though. I don't think it's going to cut it this time around.
Well, I mean, they do a trailer, and then the next day they have, hey, we're live. or check us out in a week. We'll be live with a deep dive.
Yeah. They have to have something like, and this is what I would do if I was instructing them on their 9-month plan. I would say at the Game Awards, you drop a new trailer, but at the end of the trailer, you announce there's a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League demo available right now. Download it.
That's too early.
It's 2 months. It's 2 months before launch.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can throw something together, I suppose. Yeah.
Because
yeah. I mean, I do think this is one of those ones where,
because they were ready to release the game. They had the state of play in February. They were ready to release the game in May, and because of the feedback they got from the state of play, they shoved it out of 2024 by 9 months. So your problem isn't brand awareness. Your problem is that people think your game sucks, and I've heard, and they haven't played it yet, but they think it sucks because they heard live service and they saw Battle Pass. They don't like that it's a Suicide Squad game where you're not actually using the Justice League. You're not going to get those people. But people also saw the gameplay and were like, well, it looks pretty much like Fortnite type of generic shooter where everyone's looks pretty much the same, and you're shooting bright spots on robots like Avengers. So you have a perception that this is a generic live service looter shooter that's destined to fail. But I've heard developers say the game is a lot better than what they showed. So what you need in order to convince people to play the game is not another trailer. They've actually, people were complaining that Marvel Spider-Man 2 wasn't releasing enough trailers. They released a lot of trailers for Suicide Squad, and they released multiple cinematic trailer, a bunch of cinematic trailers. They released a trailer combined with like 30 seconds of gameplay. Then they had a 15-minute state of play deep dive. Like, they don't need more trailers. They need to actually show the game to people, like either like a deep dive that really focuses on gameplay, no cuts, like actual walk you through gameplay. This is how the combat works. This is the melee parts, which, because they mentioned melee and barely show any of it. Like, this is the melee. These are the essential these are the essential multiplayer functions. Like, they need to be answering those questions. And either you do that with a deep dive, or you do that by giving people a demo and just letting them play it for themselves. Because if any game is going to capitalize on a demo, it feels like it should be one that has a already off to a bad start in terms of reputation. And it's helped other games. Like Liza P benefited from the demo. Resident Evil Remake benefited from the demo. Like, have the drop. I would say just prepare a demo, announce it at the Game Awards, get so that you have some momentum going into 2024. Because your game is supposed to come out in February of 2024, and the Game Awards are in December. So in December you have people playing the demo. If it's actually good, then all of a sudden you have some positive word of mouth, and then you can go back to some more marketing, like maybe some developer deep dives, another trailer or something. You have the content creators and the journalists doing their previews and everything like that. Your usual stuff, but you got to show people like, oh, hey, the game this isn't a garbage live service game. Trust me, it's good. Like, you have to convince them now, because they're convinced it's bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've definitely, like, shadow drops are fun. You know what I mean?
They are.
So I do feel like that would, if they did have, because I don't know, I feel like, how far in advance was the Avengers beta?
I played the Avengers beta in August ish. Yeah, August was the first time. I think August, late July, and the game came out in beginning of September, first week of September.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it's like a time thing, like it's a beta, not a demo, to kind of create some urgency. That would certainly be interesting because obviously you're going to have servers on, and people being able to join in. So I can see that working. Hey, we've got a beta coming up, and so yeah.
Let people play it, test the servers, let people see what they're getting into, and if the game is good, then a lot of those haters are going to be irrelevant because people are pretty much judging the game based. What they
played.
A lot of people are judging the game based on Avengers, and they have no intention of playing the game regardless because it's not the game that they want. But for the people who are just generally skeptical because they think it looks bad or generic, this would give them opportunity to play it for themselves.
And on top of that, it's just, I feel like we're seeing it with Gotham Knights now that's on Game Pass this week. Suddenly, everybody's like, "Wait, Gotham Knights good?"
Oh yeah,
Who knew?
Yeah, because that. Well, to be fair, Gotham Knights has improved significantly since launch in terms of optimization and performance. They've added new content, but yeah, the game was definitely overhated by people who didn't actually play it for the most part because you had a bunch of people who just hated it because Batman wasn't playable. You had people who saw the multiplayer element and thought it was just going to be like Avengers, so they refused to touch it. And you had the people who physically are unable to play anything at below 60 FPS.
Oh my eyes.
So you had just.
I thought it was hilarious when you were showing your Twitter earlier when one of the trending topics on your screen was 60 FPS.
Yeah, it's usually every other day. It's usually 60 FPS, but in this case, it's because of a Redfall. Yeah,
no, I get that. Mine for some reason has Kraken at Oilers.
Makes sense.
I don't like either team, so
it's sports ball. It's all the same, right?
Yeah. My what's happening right now is Loki, SmackDown, Spider-Man 2 PS5, and PSA 10.
Spider-Man 2 is going to be taken over.
Yep.
I keep occasionally refreshing my email, hoping to see a message from my Sony Connect.
I understand that feeling,
but I know it's not coming because he usually only reaches out to me at like 5 o'clock in the morning because he's in a completely different time zone. But still, I'm looking for it. Daddy needs that code.
Yeah, I just want my collector's edition to at least arrive on the 19th.
That would be nice for everybody.
Although, like I said, I do have this.
Oh,
so no matter what, I'll be able to play it that night.
Did you enter that sweepstakes for Sony rewards that they announced?
No, what's that?
You get if you win, you get it's actually like you get the limited edition bundle, so the PS5, the game, the custom plates and the controllers. You also get a 60-inch OLED smart TV.
Fuck that. I would throw that right in the trash.
You get
Sony TVs suck.
You get like $400 in like PlayStation credit. Like it's a shitload, but you have to be a Sony Rewards member. And so I tried to sign up to be a Sony Rewards member by linking my PlayStation account, and it told me that I'm not eligible. And I looked at the eligibility, and I am in fact eligible. so I tried a different email, and it said, and then it let me through to try to set up an account. And then when I tried to set it up, it glitched out. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try again on mobile. But there's the significant barrier so far seems to be that you have to be a Sony Rewards member, and apparently it's kind of broken. the website.
I should be a Sony Rewards member.
I'd be surprised if you weren't,
because I'm checking right now. I've redeemed a bunch of Sony movies.
Yeah, so you should be. So you should definitely be a rewards member. Yeah, I'm trying to. I would love to be, but I for some reason am not able to get the website to work.
Get rewarded. Your account is associated. Accept. congrats, you just earned an entry into the Stronger Together sweepstakes. Well, I think it's because I'm white. And
yeah, that must be what it is.
So
because I tried on two different emails and they would let me enter.
Yeah. All right. Well, it says I'm entered, so thank you for letting me know that.
You're welcome.
And when I win the Sony TV, I'm still not giving it to you. I'm going to throw it in the trash. I hate Sony TVs. Like, all right. So again, minor things, but actually this is not minor. Okay. Here's my biggest issue right now. Every single time I turn my TV in, I have everything hooked up through my Bose system.
Right.
And every single time I turn my TV on, I have to tell it to send the audio to my external speakers. I can't just turn the internal speakers off like every other TV I've ever had. And having worked for Bose and having to deal with all these TVs all the time, Sony TVs are always a nightmare to deal with. I don't know why I bought this TV. I thought that like the integration with my PS4 being hooked up to it would be nice. It has not been. And it's just annoying because like I don't ever want to use those speakers and it like turns them on every single time. Like
no matter what you do.
Yeah. And there's no way to change it. It's stupid. There's a couple other little things like that. Yeah, you of course not.
I love that. That might be my favorite one.
Yeah,
because I can just bait it so easily.
Yeah,
but I mean that overall is a pretty crazy package if someone wins it. But unfortunately, I'm not able to become a Sony Reverse member. So.
Well, I was able to do it.
Well, good luck. And in the meantime, I'll just be hoping that I just get Spider-Man 2 early because I'll gladly take that over winning the sweepstakes. But if I could do both, that would be even better. I'll try to maybe I got to try it on mobile. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Because that's what happened when I tried to get the collector. I think when I was trying to use the PlayStation website to buy, I think it was the collectors, or no, it was one. I was trying to use the PlayStation website, I think, and it was just not happening on desktop. But then I switched to mobile, and it was fine. I think it might have been for the collector's edition.
Well, like I said, I would just be mostly content if my collector's edition arrived on the 19th. That way I could just redeem everything just fine. I could give this code back to my brother. Don't have to worry about anything.
Unfortunately for you, it'll see you on the 20th at probably like 10 o'clock at night.
Well, then I'll have to just use that code. So,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Which is tough. Unless you get one off the back of a truck or Sony hooks you up.
I doubt either of those are going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't know. My friend talks a big game. He's like, oh yeah, I definitely know people that could do it. I'm like,
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. He's one of those people that's like, I know everybody, I know everything.
But he doesn't.
I mean, he knows some things. Listen, every time I've gone to see AEW, he got the tickets, and we ended up ringside. So he does definitely know some people, some things, but
we'll see. Oh, well, maybe he'll pull something off there. He's
the one upper. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see.
All right. Well, it sounds like he's got at least some kind of pull. So
yeah.
I didn't ask who was on the list of creators who are being considered for review codes, but I wonder if they'll tell me if Jay Shockblast is on it.
Yeah, I doubt it. Well, if you get your code, just put in a good word, and who knows, maybe having the podcast, if we're able to talk to the person from Insomniac, maybe that'll help us too.
Oh, it won't, but it'll help you. It'll help you in the eyes of Insomniac.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't need there to be any quid pro quo. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine just talking to her and just enjoying the conversation and having her on the show. So that's fine.
For sure. But yeah, I'll definitely see if Jay Shockblast is in consideration. I don't know if they'll tell me who's on the list.
Yeah. I mean, I don't expect that. You know what I mean? So I just know that, I've been a big supporter of Marvel games for going way back, you know, and a lot of their smaller projects that didn't do as much, but you know,
Yeah.
nobody owes me anything.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I am rooting for you. I am rooting for you though. So I'll see if we can I'll see if we can make something happen behind the scenes. We'll see. We'll see if what we can pull off. But appreciate everyone for hanging out once again. We're going to wrap it up for the week. Hopefully next week we'll have a special guest. If we'll see if Brittany's publicist gets back to us over the weekend. If so, if we can set something up, then we're gonna have a special guest from Insomniac, one of the writers for the advanced writer for Spider-Man 2, in fact, who's also working on Wolverine right now.
Ooh.
So that'll be a show. Thank you once again. Hope Casual Vendor is enjoying his deep dish. We'll pour one out for you, my friend. Once again, thank you everyone for the support. We'll see you next week, same time probably. I'm Sadat the Gamer.
I'm Casual Avenger.
I'm Casual Avenger. Shut up.
All right, I'm Jay Shockblast.
Zip it up and zip it out. Peace.